Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together this dump truck of hearts box card. It's a card that folds flat to fit into an envelope, and we also include the envelope, and this from Simply Crafty SVGs. So this is similar to the card we're going to make. It is, I modified it a bit so it's yellow right here, and it's, you don't see that line. Anyways, this is the version, so I'm going to show you how to layer it. Let me show you the pieces. So we have, these are all the little pieces, the hearts and the pieces for the wheels, the tires, that kind of thing. And then this is for the inserts. So that goes with the other little red piece right here, these red pieces. And there's two of them, so they kind of, I'll show you how those go on. And then these are the front and back panels for the dump trucks. And then the card pieces. So I'm going to go ahead, and an envelope, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead, and the first thing we're going to do is to piece these together. Show you how to put the hearts on, how I put them on, and explain that. And then we'll move on to the next part. So we're going to go ahead and piece together. I've already pieced together the little hubcap to each of the tires. So that's just placing that in the center and gluing it. So I'll just put those just to the right here. And then we'll put the hearts on. And then on here we already put this side on. This is the back side. But it's the same exact way as the front, so I've already done it. The only difference is I just didn't put the tires on. So you'll see that these are slightly rounded right here. So we're just going to go ahead and line those up. I'll just do it on this one and then finish it afterwards. So these will go with this. And then let's go ahead and put this one together. So you'll see that I also inked it a little bit, so the edges, to help with the edges. So the way I did that, just to give you an idea, so let me just get something to show you, is I used distress ink, or oxide I should say, and people ask me, so I just do a quick demo. So for this one, I'm using these little iCrafter ink sponges, which are kind of cool for small areas. So it's like a little sponge. So anyways, and it's nice because they stack together by color, so that's only half of it. There's other colors. So I just basically went around and slightly did the edges like that. And then I didn't want to ink from the front for there, but I wanted to ink a little bit, so all I did is flip it over and inked in there. So there's other inks you can use, but this is how I did this. So I don't see the back, so it kind of gives it that little outline right there. So it will give it a little bit more dimension. So that's how I did that. Let's go ahead and put that on. So I did that. That's how I did all the inking that you'll see. So I'm just going to lightly place glue with this fine tip applicator. I am using art glitter glue that goes on really thin. A little heavy there. So just line it up, and you can flip it over to make sure. And then this just goes right here. So I'm just going to do a really light bead of glue, just not too much because you don't want it to leak out too much, you know, if any. And you can always spread it out with your fingertips, or you can always put it on with a little brush as well. Make sure you get it on the correct side. So I had them all together, so I knew. And we're just going to line it up to this half circle here, and left and right. So I just have to inch it over a little bit, and then it'll line up like that. So should be fairly simple. You just get it lined up right there, that angle, and get it in place. So then we'll put the wheels on. And there's little like really slight circular, it's like a little scallop on the edge of the tire. So if you put it on lightly with glue, you can rotate it to make sure it matches. You can always flip it around and look too. So I just wanted the look of a rougher tire. It's very slight, but it does look different than just a regular circle. So that finishes that, and I'll put the tires on the other one after this. So let's go ahead and take these. So I'm going to show you this little one first. So this is for the insert. Make sure it's the correct way again. To double check, look at your insert, make sure you have the correct one, because there's two of them. One's the opposite of this, the flip side. So the way I did this, so you could make additional hearts and do whatever you want on there, but the way I did it was to put a heart there. So you can see it lines up, the tops line up right there. And these are all the same size. The next one will be right here. I know it's hard to see, but right there. So you can see this red heart. I didn't cut out a heart for that one, and you'll see why. But you could always cut out additional hearts. That's up to you. And you can even make it 3 colors if you want to. I just was limiting the colors on this one. So make sure it goes here. So keep those little 2 humps for the red, so it looks like a red heart. Just lining those up. And then this is a red heart. So this goes over that or under, whichever one you prefer. And that other red heart kind of looks funny. It may look funny to you the way it is now, but I'm going to add this and we're going to overlap it so it's an overlapped heart. Again, if you want a real heart, if you want one like that, just cut an extra one, cut an extra couple, because you can place hearts in other places of the design. So for this one, you kind of can see how it is. The same thing. I'm not, this is going to go in front of this like that. So you can see it looks like a red heart, so we don't have to really cut that out. I'm going to put it in order so you can see. So from right to left, we're going to go this one. And so this is a heart, so you want to go 1, 2, go to the third one. My goal when I do this, for people that are like, why is she skipping hearts and why didn't she put another heart? Some people might want to cut another one out. Again, you can cut another one out, but it's really just trying to simplify the design so it's less to cut and assemble. So you can get them done a little bit. So this one's a little tricky. I have to get my bearings here. Oh, it's that way right there. Right like that. So this is the side of it. So what I'm trying to emulate, it's coming out of the truck, obviously. So once I got the look I wanted, and you can line it up, there's a little thing on this edge to line it up. And then the red. And again, it should line up there on the right here, so you can rotate it, line it up, and then lighter red, or I guess you could call it pink. It's kind of a pink. I think it's called Firebird. I have to look it up, but it's interesting color. that I couldn't find I didn't get it in a pack. I got it into a variety pack of American Crafts. And then I'm going to throw this little one down here. And you can be anywhere. It can be right there. It can be right there. It's just to like, again, look like it's coming out. But, you know, pouring out of the truck. So I think though that really was the piecing was the the part that you really have to pay the most attention. There's a little tricky part putting this insert on, but we're going to do that right now. So let's get those other two pieces. And if I didn't mention it, this is the Pick Me Up tool. You can put little, I didn't use it. I used it for the tires, but it allows you to pick up little pieces and lightly place them down. It has a little thing on the end. I just forgot to use them when I was doing it. Would have been easier for me. So let me get these on and then we'll go to the next step. So now that we have all these assembled, we'll go ahead and, piece together. We'll go ahead and assemble the card. So the one thing you can do, you can't put these on until after the card is put together. So I'm going to put that over there. But you can put these two pieces on. This I would wait, and I'll show you why. It just gets in the way. It might be a little bit challenging to put it on after the fact, but it's challenging to have it on when you assemble. So let me go ahead and put these on. So find this insert. Then we're going to go ahead and put this on the front. So I have the texture side so you can tell it's on the left. And we're going to just flip these back, and then I'm going to flip them up because they are going to be flipped up. So you want to train them a little bit up just to make sure you get them ready for the assembly. And then let's go ahead and just put this on. And I'm just going to put glue here on the top first. Go all the way down there, and then maybe just put a bead of glue just at the bottom of this because I don't know how far down it goes. I can eyeball it, but it's just better. So I'm just going to line that up carefully. And the reason we're putting the backing on will become clear when I put the other heart insert portion on. It's just to make it consistent with the other one. The other one, no need to explain. I'll show you in a later step. Same way, just the opposite. So just make sure you put the correct one. And if for some reason you wanted it to be a double-sided card, you could go ahead and cut more hearts and put it on this side as well. So that's up to you. Most people are not going to look at the back of the card. So now we have that done, let's go ahead and I'm just going to fold those tabs. So this is the front of the card. I'm folding the tabs. And here's the back of the card. So what we're going to do is just, looking at the front, I'm just going to glue that right there. It's going to add glue to this tab. Then line this edge up to, not over the fold line on the tab over there. And make sure it's, obviously lined up on the top and the bottom, just like that. So now we're upside down. So just to be clear, the big part's the front, because that's where we're going to put the inserts. So the inserts are going to go like this. They're upside down. The small one and then the large one. So that's how we're going to put them on. So we're going to start. I could have made this a little bit bigger, but I didn't. So you can go a little bit higher on this. So when I put this in there, let me just explain what's going to happen here. It's going to go like this. It's going to attach. So we're going to go ahead and you see I have it folded forward. We're going to go ahead and add glue. we'll just do the left side. So you see how it's folded. This is upside down. We're going to focus on this fold right here. We want this folded towards the front, so it's going to go right here. So let me show you. I'll do it this way. I'm going to go a little bit from the top. I'm going to fold it over before and just make sure it looks like it's straight across, because we'll glue it like that. So you want to go towards as far as the top you can, so the closer to the top the better. So you can see that's the beginning of it. And then the second one, it's upside down. It's going to, this folds back, so we're going to add glue to that tab. So it's the right hand side tab on top. But now we're going to flip it over, and now we're going to put it slightly to the right of this. So we can get pretty much the same height. I'm just going to go a little taller there, but just try not to go over that in that fold right there. Then I'm just making sure again that it goes straight across. So you can kind of eyeball it. So now this is what we have. We just need to glue the remaining tabs, and obviously we don't have the hearts on it yet. Oops. So now we have to make sure that this bottom one right here is folded under. So let me show you what's going to happen. We're going to fold this. So now that we have those on, we're going to carefully fold that over. So it's folded over like that. And then what you'll see underneath is that it'll align where it needs to go on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and fold this underneath, just like the other side. I'm just making sure, what I'm checking is making sure it's straight right here. And then just this part, you want to make sure that you give it time to glue, otherwise it may pull up if you come up too quickly. And then this one doesn't fold back at all, it just goes flat. So we're just going to add glue there. And it angled a little bit on me, so I just need to make sure it's straight across. If you can see that, I'm just making sure it's straight down here, because otherwise it's not going to go in the correct place. And it went a little bit too low. So you want to go a little bit higher. So this goes over it. So I'm just a little bit too low. Oops. I just adjusted it. So it's a little bit crooked, but I need that to go above the edge. And then we'll go ahead and fold that in to glue that last tab. So we don't want to go as high. I forgot about that. So that clears, because we're just trying to get that to clear over there so it doesn't hit it as it's folding. That makes sense. So that's the actual card. So we're going to go ahead and add that heart insert. And the reason why we had to wait is because we would have a hard time getting it on with that, like that. It was hard enough to eyeball it just without it, but because I wanted the hearts falling out of the truck, I had to think of a way to do that. So that's why you have that cut piece, and then we'll have that background to cover it. So just put that on. So this is not like the simplest box card, but I think it's worth the work, honestly. If you do like this box card and our others, I always ask if you could give me a little like on the video and or subscribe to our channel. And if you hit that little notification bell to the right, you'll be notified when we have new videos, new projects, that kind of thing. So I did make a little mistake. I do this every single time. I don't know why. Don't put glue down there. But it's okay because I'm going to put the backing on, so, but you get it on your fingers and you don't want it on your project. So put glue on the actual, this part, and then we'll just like this. Problem is you can't get glue pretty far down, so that's where putting glue on this helps at the bottom. Then I'll just put a little extra glue there because it's drying on me. So it's to hide that little part right there. So we wanted to make it consistent on the back so you don't see that little cut part. And you can flatten it, apply pressure. And then last, for the actual card, we'll do the envelope after this. We can go ahead and put these top pieces on. So this is just going to line up like that, and then the back piece. So I'm putting glue on it right now. Well, actually, we're not putting glue on that one. Don't forget, we want to do the same thing here. I've been jumping between projects, so it just depends. Each card's different, especially when you do box cards that are not the same all the time. And that's the thing, is that I go from, I'm not trying to excuse myself, I just forget. I'm human. So be careful with your glue so it doesn't get on the back of the, or the inside of the card. Then just carefully line this up. And that's the reason why we don't put glue on this. So I'm lining it up on the tires first to make sure. But that's why we're not putting glue on the back, because this piece is bigger than the front. See how it kind of juts out? It's just the way we could create the shape we wanted with this box card and have it fold. So it's a little bit thick, and then we'll put this back piece on. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of places to put any kind of sentiment, but you could put a little tag or something, or add something back here, put a little white tag and just say from. So it's doesn't have a lot of space to write from, but I typically don't do that. So I'm going to put that on, and then we'll move to the envelope. So even though this card could fit into a say 7, you do have to fold it to the left. If you fold it to the right, it makes it longer. So you kind of, if it does, you got to just be careful with the, I went a little bit, like I said, too low with this. I need to be a little higher. So it folds both ways, but to make it the shortest, to fit in the envelope, it has to go to the left. So if it's kind of wobbly at first, you just press it down and it'll get it in place. So it should go either way, but sometimes it's a little fiddly one way versus the other, but you can see it'll fit into the envelope once we get it done, versus if I went this way, it's going to be, you're going to see it's too big, okay? So it has to be folded to the left. So the basic envelope, you want the big part on the bottom. So we're just going to fold those in and then glue that here. So the way I usually do it is kind of see where this starts and then just angle up, do that. Just being careful not to get it inside because we don't want it to glue shut. Then I do a little beat, just a little bit right there. So same thing on the other side, super easy. I just wanted to give you an envelope that would fit it. If you wanted to make one that fit it better than maybe an A7 envelope. I'm just kind of eyeballing it again. But I put a little glue, like I said, on this to seal that right there. Make sure there's no glue that can get glue it shut by accident. That's it. Here's the, like I said, it fits this way. It's kind of cattywampus the way it fits, but it does fit. There you go. So it's a pretty sturdy card too. So I hope you like this project, and I thank you so much for watching.